What is going on, everybody? Luke Plays Lead here with a different style of video today. So I've seen all the love on my Frankie theme trumpet video. I've seen all the One Piece fans. Anytime I get a notification on my phone and it says you got a comment, it says super or something else in that video, just makes me happy. Love it. So I figured why not share the love with the One Piece fans, and we'll do a little One Piece arc tier list, my thoughts on it. My brother, if you're watching this, like my actual brother, if you're watching this, look away. Don't watch it because this contains spoilers, and you're not quite through it yet, so just don't watch it till later. But my wife and I just finished Wano. We're almost fully caught up. I haven't started Egghead yet. I've been a little busy, but I've watched pretty much everything up until after Wano. I've seen it, so we're gonna do a little One Piece tier list here. So starting with my favorite, what I just talked about, Wano, absolutely. My number one is, people say Wano's too long. I say give me 20 more years of Wano. I'm sure that's what it felt like to all of you who watched it as it was coming out, week by week or whatever the schedule is. But as someone who binged it, kind of, just peak, the best. The art, amazing. The animation, amazing. The fights, amazing. Character growth, just everything about it was just absolute peak. It's the best media out there. It's so good. Wano, just the fights, Kaido, all the characters. It's just stunning. Just absolutely the best. So S+ for Wano. We're starting the best of the best, the strongest. Yeah, Wano S+. I'm sure other people agree with me. If you don't agree with me, you're wrong. I'm sorry. We're all One Piece fans here. No need to start discourse. Anyways, let's move on. So next, Drum Island. That's what I'm going to go to next. Another. Some people, maybe not their favorite, but a lot of people also really like this arc. It has, introduction of one of the best characters in all of One Piece, Chopper. One of my wife's favorite characters, one of my favorite characters. Amazing backstory. Not the saddest backstory, don't get me wrong. Really sad. Get the mushroom, the doctor, you know the backstory. Just amazing backstory, great characters. Luffy climbing up the mountain to save Nami. Just, so good. So good. Emotional. And just the ending. Oh my. The ending of... I'm not looking over that. Camera's up here. The ending of that arc is just phenomenal with the cherry blossoms and Chopper coming with... so good. I mean, I gotta go S+ on this one. S+. I think back... I'm getting excited. It's S+. S+ tier. Again, I'm looking over there. Camera's there. Alright, next. One of my favorite backstories. My third favorite, used to be my second favorite character. Now my third favorite after Wano. My favorite characters are Luffy, Zoro. I don't know which one's number one. They're neck and neck. Luffy, Zoro, just amazing. Sanji's great. But my third favorite character has got to be Nico Robin, and that is solely because of Water 7, Enies Lobby. I'm going to be including these in the same one, by the way. What do I got to say? You know what I'm thinking and what I'm going to say about Enies Lobby and Water 7. You got to start off with the Usopp stuff, leaving the Going Merry, and he's like leaving, they fight, and they're all upset. You got that super emotional fight where Usopp puts up a fight, and then he doesn't win, but like he does better than I think anyone was expecting him to do. And then he gets beaten up, and the crew is still like, yeah, you ain't doing that to our boy, Introduction to Frankie, super, don't even get me started on Enies Lobby. Like, I'm including the same thing. You got the crazy plot twist in the middle there. You got the whole train sequence. Oh, it was so long, but it's so good. You got the whole train sequence they're going. You got Nico Robin the character growth of Nico Robin is just amazing. It's incredible. And she finally says the line, I want to live, or I want to go. I want to live. It's just incredible. It's so good. You get her whole backstory, and then her realizing that her friends. It's amazing, so good. You got the best part of it where you got those 5 episodes of filler right before the climax of the whole arc. Okay, not the best, but I mean, you got the ending with the Going Merry and Usopp and Sogeking. Usopp's not there. Sogeking's there. Usopp. We don't know where Usopp is during all of this. But Sogeking is there with a great theme song. as well, might I add. Um, got another theory on who Sogeking is, but that's another video. Um, anyways, Sogeking encouraging Luffy to stand back up, and he wins, and then going Mary. Gear 2, you can see Gear 2, Gear 3. Oh, S plus. I mean, come on, S plus. Where else can you put it? S plus. Okay. All right, let's slow it down a little bit. We've done 3 heavy hitters. Let's go to some other people. I mean, we're just gonna do another heavy hitter. Another people's favorite. Where is it? Marineford. I mean, Marineford, so good. You get just, you don't get the whole crew in it, but you get like a lot of Luffy character development. You get to see all the Ace stuff. Just all out battle. You finally get to see Whitebeard do some stuff with his crew. You got the ending with Shanks, and there's all the moving parts. You get to see the Navy, some of the heavy hitters of the Navy doing their thing. A little bit of emotion in there. You get I just totally forgot what I was gonna say. Amazing fights. You get to see Mihawk come in action. You get to see Garp battle in his head. Family versus his work. It's so good. The entrance from Luffy, just I mean, S plus, S plus. That was loud. I'm sorry. S plus, like, it's just amazing. All right, where are we going next? Let's do. Where is it? Loguetown. That's not what I meant to say. Romance Dawn. Romance Dawn. Let's do the beginning. Romance Dawn. You get started it all. Where it began. You got Shanks. Shanks in over 1,000 episodes. He's got like 30 minutes of screen time. One of the best characters in the entire show. He comes on screen. Everyone's cheering. You get to see Shanks. You get to see like the seriousness of one. You get that dude just getting shot. You're like, oh. Now I know like no one dies for like the next 900 episodes, but like that guy dies. So, take that. People who use that against One Piece. Anyways, it's just where it started. You get to young Luffy. He eats the thing. I mean, back then you don't even know. Like, he eats the gum fruit. You don't even know what he's turning himself into until like 1,000 episodes later. Like, whew. That's where it all started. I think it would be a disservice to give this arc anything less than S plus tier. It's just, it would be a disservice. That's where it all began. Without Romance Dawn, we wouldn't have Wano. We wouldn't have the rest of it. Well, S plus. It's just where it began. Okay. We did Marineford. We kind of have to do Impel Down because it's like right before it. I mean, Bon Clay, Bonchan. I mean, if you've seen it, you know. Again, looking at myself over there, just everything that went down here, the plot twists, the amazing characters. Megalon, I don't know. His name's something like that. It's kind of like the dude from the Godzilla, Megalon, whatever. The poison, he just, like, Luffy kind of gets his first beating. It's like, oh, he's not winning this. Like, but he gets saved. You got Gumba Ray from Bon Clay as Luffy's trying to make his way, heal himself out with the, you got it's everything in that. Sogi got he's in the snow, and then they're in the fire. You see Buggy again. Buggy comes back, and he's a little annoying, but he's also, a little comic relief, and him and Mr. 3. Right? He's Mr. 3, right? I promise I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Mr. 3. It's just, you get to see a little bit of the connection with the Revolutionary Army. It's so good. It precedes Marineford, and for everything in it, with Luffy not winning, finally, he always perseveres, but he didn't persevere this time. He lost. And then they get to come back to that whenever he gets poisoned in the future, except the one time in Whole Cake where he got poisoned. But it affected him. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's Germa's army. It's better poison. I don't know. But he gets poisoned and he lives and he, gets a call back to it every once in a while. He gets poisoned. He's like, doesn't affect me. I mean, S plus tier. S plus. Okay. S plus tier. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be. It's gotta be. All right, where are we going next? I mean, I said Lowtown. I might as well. Lowtown. You get to see Smoker, Chad, Beast, Smoker. Just what a guy. I mean, he comes up a few times later, but this is like, you see him. You see Zoro. He gets, he's getting his swords. Luffy's gonna get executed. You see Dragon, who you don't even know who that is. He comes in. He's just like, yeah, I'm him, and then he leaves. And then he does nothing for the next 1,000 episodes. But anyways, I mean, you got like Luffy's gonna be executed. Where the King of the Pirates got executed, he's happy, he's excited. Even if he's about to die, he's smiling. His whole crew's like, "What is going on here?" Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what I've just said. There is pretty much what I remember of Logtown. But you get to see some iconic figures, and just for like Smoker alone, like I think we're gonna give this one. I mean, S plus, S plus. Okay, next we're gonna go post-war because this picture stands out to me. Post-war, like, holy mackerel. Luffy's falling apart. His brother kicked the can. I don't need to get into that. I mean, would he be alive if Ace just didn't turn around when, the guy, Sakazuki's his name, was like, yeah, Whitebeard sucks. He's nuts, And then if Ace would have just been like, you're baiting me, I'm not going to turn around. Would he have lived? I don't know. But either way, he's dead. Spoilers. And Luffy is just having a breakdown. His brother he's dead. He's absolutely having a breakdown. You got Jinbei. I didn't even mention Jinbei. Like, holy mackerel. How did I get through Impel Down Marineford without talking about Jinbei? Like, oh my goodness. One of the best characters ever written. Just like cool, calm, collected. He's an epic guy, He's gonna smack Luffy around a little bit. Be like, what are you doing, man? Like, yeah, Ace is dead. It's sad. It's awful. We spent so much effort. I know you're distraught, but what do you have? Luffy's like, I got my friend. He starts counting them out. He's got his friends. Like, Jinbei just absolutely star of the show. They go back. We haven't talked about that place yet, but they go back to the thing. You got a little bit of Rayleigh and just, I mean, S plus. Jinbei, Luffy getting some character growth. It's not often in the early, Luffy gets a lot of character growth, but this is where it's like really heavy hitting character growth from Luffy. So for that, I gotta go S plus. You can't blame me. S plus. All right, next. Holy mackerel! I saw it and I knew we had to do it next. Oh, Whole Cake. Literally, the reason I started watching One Piece almost was because of Whole Cake. Maybe not the reason I started, but the reason I continued. I was not one to put spoilers out of the way for myself. So, like, I saw some of the Whole Cake clips back when I was, like, before Thriller Bark and stuff like that. And that's what motivated me to keep going. Like, the clip. The scene of Sanji just, like, piling into Luffy. Just, like, letting him have it. And Luffy not retaliating. Nami watching in the background. Oh, my goodness. So good. And Sanji just, like, hurting himself on the inside with every punch. He gets back on the crate. He's crying. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to cry thinking about it. Like, it's so good. And then, this was the part that made me want to watch. Like, this was what kept me going for One Piece. What I was like, maybe I don't want to watch it today. I'm a little doing some other stuff, but like I'm gonna watch it because I want to get here. The scene, Sanji, he's got his food. Don't even get me started the implications of it. But Sanji's got his food in his basket. Luffy's like, I'm not gonna eat anything unless it's by you. I'm gonna starve unless you feed me. Fast forward a lot. Sanji's like, he mans up. He goes out. He's running after Luffy. The whole battle with Luffy between like all the dudes using hockey and all that stuff. And Sanji sees it's raining and he sees like the battlefield. And he's like, oh my goodness, what did I do? My captain is just like, did he really fight all these people starving to death, tired? Like, did he really do this? And then, yes, he did. Because he's him. Luffy's him. You see Sanji, Sanji's a tough guy, except when it comes to women. But, he's a tough guy. He's like, he doesn't cry. He's a big man. And then, he's looking for Luffy. Can't find him. Doppelganger there, doppelganger here. And then he hears the stomach. And he's like, what is that? I know that. He goes running over and he sees Luffy sitting there. He's like, pull together, man. Gotta act tough. I just came out here to give him some food. And he walks up. And then it cuts to his face. I can't. He's crying. Tears, on the verge of tears in the rain. Seeing Luffy starving to death, sitting there like, this is why I joined him in the first place. He's keeping to his word. I knew he would. I gotta pause. Oh, so good. Yeah, and deep down, Sanji I love all of One Piece. This might be my favorite moment in the entire series, is the moment that Sanji comes back. Deep down, he knows that his captain, Luffy's gonna be there, starving to death, a mess, and he knows that he will have killed or beaten everyone because that's just who he is. He's determined. And because of that, Sanji's at the verge of tears. He's crying. He brings in the food. Don't even get me started on the Sanji backstory. He brings his mom the food, and it's all like, gross because it fell and it got rained on. And then he gives Luffy the food, and it fell, it got rained on, it's gross. Luffy starts eating, he's like, oh my god, goodness. This is amazing. And just the callback to the backstory. I've been going on to... I could talk about this one moment for like the next 2 hours. I mean, S tier. S plus tier. All of Whole Cake. Sanji coming back. Realizing, character growth for Sanji. Just the whole moment. It's S plus. I don't need to get into it further. You got Brook stealing the copy of the Poneglyph. Like, holy crap. Smashing the mirror. I mean, Big Mom. What a villain, So good. It was the reason I continue to watch One Piece, and it's I'm happy I did. So happy I did. S plus. All right. I want to make sure I get this right. One Piece return to... We're too deep into this to Oh, return to Sabaody. That's not what it is. Okay. Sabaody and return, two different things. Where is that? You know what? Yeah, Sabaody. Talk about an impactful punch, right? Like, Sabaody, you're despising, absolutely despising the Celestial Dragons. Some of the worst people ever created. You got Zoro who's just minding his own business. Almost takes one out, and then, Bonnie's like, well, my goodness, do not do that. But then Luffy later is like, you hurt my... I don't care who you are. This is why we love Luffy. I don't care who you are. You got the most satisfying punch. Right in the face. The dude goes flying. You got Rayleigh, the introduction of Rayleigh. Just like total I'm him energy. Chad. Just beast mode on Rayleigh. It's so good. Yeah, and then you also get you get the ending, the reality check for Luffy and his crew. They're like, we're going to the new world. Yeah, so exciting. And then it's like, oh, we are not ready for this. Gets slapped up. And then you got Kuma who's just like, puff, send you there, hitting left and right. Thankfully, good intentions. But like, oh, what an arc, what a punch. I mean, S plus. You can't... Let's order these a little bit. Enies Lobby, Wano number 1, Enies Lobby, that number 2. Whole Cake number 3. You know what? Whole Cake above Annie's Lobby? I think so. It's got my favorite moment. Marineford, Drum, Impel, no, post-war, Impel, no, Sabbaty, Drum. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's continue. Next, Return. Let's just do Return. They get their 2 years. They got the training. You got the fake One Piece crew. You got the fake Luffy, Straw Hat crew. You get Luffy coming in, and he is just. I mean, everyone was waiting for it. They come back to Return to Sabbaty, and you're like, come on, show me what they got. You get pretty much everyone's new strength. You get Luffy he just slaps that guy. Slaps that fake Kuma. It's you see the not the Going Merry, the Thousand Sunny again. Built by Frankie. You see Rayleigh. Zoro's there first. Like, that's crazy. I mean, S+. I'm not gonna say anything else more about it. S+. It's amazing. All right, next. Let's just go in order now. Fishman Island. A lot of people don't like Fishman Island. I liked it. You get Jinbei, you get backstory of Jinbei. The villain was a little weird. Like, he's a cool villain, Horty Jones. Like, I kind of liked him, but he was just like annoying. But like, you get so much lore. You get Luffy and like all the humans dealing with the fish and like what's the word? The discrimination that's kind of been going on there. And then Luffy's gonna come and he's gonna fix everything. You got like the Sea Kings. That's crazy. Like, what's going on with that big ship whose name escapes me at the moment? What's going on with that? Like, it's crazy. There's so much that happens there that I can forgive it for having not the best villain. I still like the villain. Like, I like the fight where like Luffy, like you get to see Luffy's power in Return to Sabbaty, but then when he fights and all of them fight in the big fight, like that's what you've been waiting for. You get to see everyone. And that fight is awesome. It goes on for a long time. You get Luffy destroying the ship at the end. You get the Sea Kings talking. Like, you get the mermaids. You get the king. Like, you get Zoro being epic more. I mean, that always happens, but he's being epic. I mean, S+ tier. S+. Okay, S+. All right, Thriller Bark. This is where I took a long break from One Piece, mainly because it was also when we were like, a lot of things were going on, like just in real life. But also, starts out pretty slow, but you know what? After watching it towards the end, I ended up liking it more towards the end. Beginning was a little slow, but I still enjoyed it. Like, it was an enjoyable watch. I liked it. I liked watching it. Gecko Moria, he's pretty cool. A little annoying voice, but like, he's pretty cool. You get Oars, the big dude. You get everyone working together. You get Frankie and Chopper building the ladder in midair. You get to see some teamwork. You get to see Usopp finally be the quote unquote hero of the fight. He finally, like, he's fighting, and he's the one that can beat him because he's a negative Nelly. He's a negative Nancy. And I liked his fight against what was that girl's name? Pink hair girl, One Piece. Not Bonnie. Perona. Yeah, you get Perona. She's pretty cool, and then she comes back. I'm happy she kind of had a little more play in the story than just in that arc. And then Zoro stands, rise up. Nothing happened. That's all I gotta say. S+. The whole thing could have sucked, but the end. S+. Zoro. Okay, I gotta give some credit to Sanji. He was gonna come save the day too, but Zoro knocked him out. Gave him one of those, knocked him out, and yeah, I mean, S+. Okay. Let's do Jaya. Jaya, I think this is like backstory stuff. Give me a second. I don't remember much of this. Was this not? I'm seeing like Blackbeard. Oh, I remember I remember when this is. Okay, that's that. What is? I'm getting this confused with another one. Where is that one? Maybe I'm not. Oh, this is what I think it is. Okay, then. I mean, this is the part with like Bellamy. They get their bounties and they're like, this squirt. I mean, is he really worth this much money? Like, come on, he's not. With Sky, you get to see Blackbeard and you get to see that one thing. You get to see them interact. You get to see One Piece. Luffy get his head and Zoro's like, just give me that word and I will take this guy out. And Luffy's like, nah, not worth our time. And then later, Bellamy bouncing around, boom, right in the head, and Luffy's like, yeah, I'm better than you. What are you gonna do about it? And then, that is all before Skypiea. So I mean Jaya. I mean, that's blessed. You get to see Zoro and Luffy being. You get to see their bounties. You get to see Nami try to be intimidating and just fail. Like it's just good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, we gotta go a little faster here. Next, Reverse Mountain. It's not super long, but you get to see Laboon. Which also has some time with Brook, and I like when they went in the thing, they went up and they're all, they're putting their feet on the table, they're saying their dreams and what they want to accomplish, and you got the amazing music. I mean, S plus tier, S plus. I don't need to say too much more about it. It's S plus. Arlong Park, holy mackerel. I mean, if you don't like One Piece after Arlong Park, I don't know what to tell you. Nami's backstory, sad. You get Luffy's like, I'm not interfering too much, but I'm not leaving. Like, I'm not gonna leave. And then Nami finally, she breaks down. She gets double-crossed. Not that anyone saw it coming. She gets double-crossed, emotional, stabbing herself, crying, and then she finally breaks down. She asks for help. And Luffy's like, dog, that's why I'm here. Of course. Puts the hat on her. He goes, he beats up Arlong, and he's like, you're my friend. He sets her free. S plus. Oh. All right, Orange Town. I don't need to say too much about this one. Like, you get to see Buggy, you get to see Nami's finally coming in. You get introduction one of the best, most iconic, most recognizable characters, Nami, in all of One Piece. Buggy's pretty cool. I didn't think he'd play as much part in the story as he does, but he's there. You get the dog, right? The dog's in this one, right? I mean, S plus. Punk Hazard. I mean, you get Caesar. Caesar's like cool. You get to see a bunch of Law, and you finally get to see Law and Luffy work together, and they make that alliance to take down Kaido. And boy, do they do it! I mean, it's the start to so much stuff. You get Kinemon. This is like everything that happens in Wano. This is where it starts. This is where it stems from. Kinemon. You got Momonosuke. Like S plus. Holy mackerel! So good. Dressrosa, talk about a villain, talk about an evil laugh. Dressrosa. I mean, there's Rebecca, all the stuff with that, and her father, he's the toy, and then he comes back, and then she remembers everything, and all the people get turned about. You got God Usopp. He's like the most threatening guy in all of One Piece. It's incredible. Dressrosa is S plus. It's long, but you get to see a lot of backstory. You get to see people getting stronger. I mean, it's Doflamingo is just an incredible villain, just absolute beast of a guy. Amazing fight. Gear 4, like, so good. Skypiea, the lore arc. A lot of people don't like this one. A lot of people skip this one. You cannot. I'm sorry if that was loud. Cannot skip this one. So much lore, so much backstory, so much foreshadowing. Got amazing villain in NL, Eneru. Just an amazing villain. Lightning, Lightning's always cool. Nico Robin gets to see, you get to do a lot of stuff with her, with the poneglyph, and she's reading, and she's, discovering the lore and the past. So much backstory, and the backstory is pretty good. I liked, obviously it wasn't as good as the main stuff, but the backstory in Skypiea, solid. And for that, I give you S plus tier. Next. Zoe. Talk about a turn of events. Zoe, like the dog and the cat, they're getting torn up. Like, where's the samurai? Where's the samurai? Like, we don't know. He's not here. He's not here. And you're like, yeah, obviously, I don't know who the samurai is, but he's not here. And then Kinemon and Momonosuke show up, and they're like, Raizo is safe. And you're like, what? They did have what's going on here? And then you get to see that all play through Wano, and it's you get to see the Sulong stuff. You get to see Carrot come into play. Play Pedro. You get to see who's that dude Capone, the dude Capone, man, who takes Sanji. Like, it leads into Whole Cake, and I mean I gotta give it S+ for leading into Whole Cake. All right, Alabasta. I'm speeding up here. Alabasta. I mean, talk about a laugh on a villain. Am I right? Like, I'm not gonna put it up here yet. Another introduction to Nico Robin is why you get to see a lot more with her. Very mysterious, and then she's just like, just let me die. Like, you get to realize, like, oh, she's not really in this. Her heart's not in this. She's just doing this because she's doing it. Like, it's where she ended up. Crocodile, amazing villain. Fun, nice. You get to see a little bit of Luffy's battle IQ coming with the water. He gets beaten, like I said, he does. He wins a lot of his fights, but this is the first fight with Crocodile, like, stabbed, and he's basically gonna die. And then Nico Robin's like, now you get a second chance at this. S+. I mean, Alabasta, another one of those arcs where, like, you watch it and you're like, this is amazing. Maybe wish that bird who took the bomb away wouldn't have lived. I'm not upset that he lived, but I think it would have been a better story if he didn't live. All right. We've been putting off this one for a while. Is it Barati? I mean, you got Zeph, you got Sanji, you got Luffy. Finally, he's one of his main big fights, first big fights, persevering. You got Zoro meeting Mihawk, character growth there. You get the Sanji backstory, not the full backstory, but you get, like, some of the pre-backstory. Depressing. You find out who Zeph is, owner Zeph, and then you get to see another moment where they're being men. They're all being men. They're all, yeah, men don't cry, men don't cry. And then Sanji's like, it all hits him. He's like, thank you for everything you've done. He breaks down. Zeph's on the point of tears. S+. Oh man, S+. All right, Syrup Village. We got Usopp, the liar Usopp, the boy who cried wolf. And then finally, the pirates are here. He sees it, and he's like, no one's going to believe me. But Luffy and Zoro and Nami, they're like, you know what? We'll help you. We got this. Don't you worry about this. You get to see some character growth from Usopp, who's just kind of like a weak dude, isn't he? He's a sniper. I like that about him. He's cool. He's got a cool, I don't say gimmick, but like talent. And you get to see him man up a little bit, kind of be a man, face his fears, and he goes out to the crew with Luffy, builds a ship. Like, that's kind of crazy. Going Merry, like, it's where the Going Merry comes from. And for the Going Merry alone, S+. All right, post Enies lobby, you get to see Garp. You get the mic drop of Garp being his grandfather. I mean, Garp's just amazing in itself. You get the whole Nico Robin and this, like, what's his name? The ice guy. His name is escaping me at the moment. One Piece ice guy. Who's on Aokiji. You get him, like, being epic, and he's like, Nico Robin, I was gonna kill you, I was gonna capture you, but I see you found your way, and I want to see where you go. And I mean, he's just amazing. He's awesome. And it's S+, S+. We got a couple more. Little Garden, you get to see Mr. 3, you get to see Zoro's stance. Saying a lot because I'm trying to go fast here. Excuse me. You get the Giants, so much lore and, backstory implied with that. And I think we're going to see, in Egghead, we're going to see some of that coming up in the future. You get to see them fighting, and then you get to see them getting shanked, shafted, and a unfair fight. You get to see Sanji being nice, all cool on the phone with Crocodile. He's like, yeah, we got this under control. I mean, S+. Especially with the Giants alone. The Giants the island eater fish, them taking it out at the end, so cool. Whiskey Peak. I think I know what this is, but just so I don't talk about it wrong. This is like with all the numbers, right? Whiskey Peak. Yeah, you got all the numbers, you got the fight. I mean, I gotta give this just for Zoro. I mean, that whole thing with Zoro just absolutely tearing up everyone there. He shows up at night and he just tears through the whole army. He's like, yeah, I am so much better than you guys. I mean, that's got to be S+. Just that scene, that's got to be S+ on its own. If I'm not mentioning one of your favorite parts from one of these arcs, I apologize. I mean, you know as well as I do, it's S+. All right. Reverie, I mean, you get to see the Celestial Dragons. You get to see the cool Celestial Dragon that comes out of nowhere, and he's like slapping up the other Celestial Dragon. He's like, nah, dog, that's not how we do things around here. These fishmen, they're awesome. I know because I experienced it. I mean, S+. I already put it there. S+. Amazon Lily, you get to see a bunch of cool characters. You get to see Luffy, and they're like, save your friends or get off this island. They're like, yeah, I know what he's picking. And he's like, oh my goodness, you'll do that for me? Thank you. Save my friends. And they're like, what? That's insane. Boa falling in love with Luffy. Just a very funny duo. Luffy finds out that Ace is in trouble. S+ tier. And then probably the best arc in all of One Piece. I mean, better than Wano. It's going to be better than Egghead. It's going to be better than Alabasta and Enies Lobby. Like, there's nothing to say about this. Long ring, long land. I mean, it's just the best of the best. It's peak fiction. It's peak of any anime out there. I mean, it's S+. Okay, it's a good arc. You get to see Afro Luffy. You get to see Cute Chopper. You get to see the mother-father dynamic with Nico, Robin, and Zoro. How they treat Chopper when he gets traded. I mean, it's S+. It's S+. It's S+ because you get to see Sanji and Zoro work together and fight together. And I like that. That's cool. So that's S+. That's all the arcs. Let me know your comments and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you agree with my list here, I think we got a nice range of stuff, and I think I did a good job explaining why I think each of them are in the tier that they are in. But let me know in your comments below. Yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Hopefully see you in the next one. See ya.